So
There's a what? There's an inability to what?
there's an inability to compute in the region of the singularity.
In the black hole?
Yeah,
Why?
so
Why?
it all lies within the Schwarzschild's metric.
Okay.
The Schwarzschild metric is delta tau squared equals 1 minus the Schwarzschild radius over the r coordinate times delta t squared times negative 1 over 1 minus the Schwarzschild radius over r times delta r squared minus delta omega squared.
But why is there an inability?
Because at the singularity, the r coordinate is equal to 0, and since it's in the denominator, it's dividing by 0.
Right.
So that's why it actually there's an inability to compute because you can't divide by 0.
Is it undefined? Right?
Whenever it actually it produces infinity because if you divide like something like 0.000001, that's equivalent to multiplying it. That's equivalent to multiplying it by 100,000.
Right.
So
what you're saying is that if it's 0, it should be infinite.
Yeah, because when it's infinitely small, the number that it produces becomes infinitely large.
Interesting.
Because whenever it's 0, when you take the logic that whenever you divide by something really small, it gets multiplied by a really large amount.
Right.
And so if you take that into account, dividing by 0 would produce infinity.
Yeah.
So the singularity, all of its characteristics should be infinity.
Right. I believe that.
Because it should have infinite energy, infinite mass, which kind of doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because then the horizon area would be infinite. So we might be inside a black hole on that account.
Why do you say that?
Because, black holes have... I was explaining that black holes have singularities. Just literally, I was talking about singularity right now. So, and there's infinite energy in the singularity of a black hole. That could create if it swallows a large enough object, it could trigger that energy into an explosion of space and time.
Wow.
So we might, if the energy is disturbed enough, it could create a Big Bang. And there is another possibility involving brains, but I don't even understand it.
No idea, right?
Yeah, the Schwarzschild metric, this is what I'm saying, 1 minus Schwarzschild radius over r. It has the delta dt squared or whatever. I say that, it's just a really small, it's just a small distance. It's just literally dz instead of delta z.
Well, I like that assumption. It makes sense to me.
And the Schwarzschild radius is given by 2 times the universal constant of gravity times mass divided by the speed of light squared. If you try to compute the area of the horizon of the emassive black hole in Planck units, that's way farther in the book. Somewhere around here, black hole stars.
What book is that? Oh. Yeah, I remember that. You read that quite a bit of times already, huh?
Yeah.